Okay, welcome all. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Gerard Hampton. I'm the VP of Operations here at GoTab. Today is the first in a series of quick 15-minute webinars on how to boost revenue in this limited labor market. I think it's no surprise to anyone that with vaccines on the rise and capacity restrictions waning, we're seeing a substantial increase in a lot of our partners' operations and people coming in, and we're faced with the reality that labor is tight right now. So a lot of what we do is help bridge that gap. So today we have two members on GoTab's customer success team, Noel and Mateen, and I'll let them introduce themselves in a second. They've been with the company for quite some time and have a long history in hospitality, so they're definitely the best people to talk to about this sort of thing. So with that, I will hand it over.
All right, hello everybody. My name is Noel. I'm a customer success manager with GoTab and have been with the company for almost over a year. I started with the company after leaving my previous job as a catering and takeout sales manager at Carmine's Restaurant up in New York City. This restaurant is well known and generates annually about $33 million in sales. I'm happy to be here, happy to work with all of you. And show you what we all have, our insight as far as previous restaurant operators working for GoTab. And now Mateen.
Thanks. Yeah, hey, I was previously the assistant director of retail operations for Drake's Brewing, as well as Jupiter and Triple Rock Brewery in the Bay Area. I'm located on the West Coast, Bay Area, California. I've also been in the industry for some time now. And yeah, I'm proficient in quite a few POS systems over the years. We've used Toast, Square, PosiTouch, Touch Bistro, Digital Dining, Heartland Restaurants, POS, and Aloha. But it wasn't until I discovered GoTab that I decided to make the plunge into a new industry where I'm pretty excited about what we're doing. And yeah, this quick little collage of us just to prove to you we're from the industry. And with that, let's get right into it. So today's webinar, we're going to be highlighting the kitchen display system and what it can do for you. There's quite a lot of you use this, a lot of you don't, but I highly recommend to everyone that it's worth having downloaded on any device. There's quite a bit that it can do that a lot of people may not necessarily know about. Today, we'll just be covering order batching, guest communication, text on dispatch, multi-item grouping, and 86ing and disabling items from the KDS, which is the kitchen display system. So with that, I will hand it back to Noel.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Mateen. All right, so what Mateen and I are here to do today is help you manage your locations and give you some useful tips and tricks on that you did not know existed within GoTab. So right there, the first slide that you see is like my previous battle in the kitchen at Carmine's. We've all been there before. We've all had a busy night where the printer just keeps printing with no end in sight. The more tickets that print, the more revenue that you're making, but you're just like, don't know what to do. You're in the weeds. You're just like, I can't drive this. Luckily, through the KDS, we offer order batching. So it's as simple as going into your settings on your KDS display, enabling batch orders, and then quickly just setting a batch time on your order zone. On the slide here, particularly, we set it for 2 minutes. And then what occurs is that basically whenever a guest orders a drink and then his friend at the same table orders a drink or a dish, it will appear on your KDS as a dispatch group or batch order. It's consolidating orders. That's what order batching means. So it just allows you to keep track of all your chits, your tabs, all in one spot. So you don't have to go searching through the whole KDS for a customer's order, the same table order. And it speeds up your runner's efficiency. So they don't have to keep coming back and forth from the bar or the kitchen.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think this is a super valuable tool, just like Noel said. I think, you know, even if you don't have open tabs turned on where people are sharing their tabs and ordering from one tab, the even with that on, actually, all orders are coming in one at a time. It's individuals are ordering for themselves. So the ability to batch orders is huge. And yeah, we think this is a super valuable tool. Moving into guest communication a little bit. Here you see some examples of, what we're used to with traditional service models, servers maybe not necessarily seeing their guests, and you can only be so many places at once. And we just wanted to kind of cover some different components of guest communication. One that you're all probably very familiar with is just the fact that after a guest places an order, there are prompts to leave a little bit of feedback, leave a review. This is obviously super valuable because a lot of times guests just want the ability to be heard. And a really great way to mitigate those 1-star Yelp reviews is to just respond to these. So we do like to gently remind everyone that there is a feedback tab in the manager dashboard, and highly recommend keeping eyes on that. But also, as guest, with regards to guest communication, we wanted to talk about text on dispatch, which Noel will kind of speak on a little bit here.
Okay. So as a default, you are aware that the guests, when they place an order, the initial order that they place, they'll receive an order confirmation stating that the order has been received by your location, and at the same time, they'll receive a receipt link. But with your KDS, you will be able to send additional messages to your guests by just simply editing your messaging throughout your location dashboard. The location configuration dashboard allows you to customize and create different messages that you can send out from your KDS display. This basically allows you to create new experiences for your guests. So for example, if you wanted to create a pickup window within your location, maybe you have a vineyard and you want them to go pick up a frappe at a station across the way, you would send a message saying, hey, your order is ready over here. Or if you're running a curbside model, you can generate a message that says, please, whenever you hit text and dispatch from your KDS display, it would say, please identify yourself by providing us with a make and model. And this allows the opportunity for your guests to actually interact with you. So they can actually respond and state, hey, I am here, where are you located? And on the slide here, there are some examples of that occurring. So in this example here, I ordered a pizza from a restaurant. The restaurant rose out of tomato sauce, and they asked me if I would like a white pizza instead. I quickly responded, say, yes, please send that to me. I'm fine with that. And so as an operator, you yourself will receive that specific chat message, and you are able to interact with the guests in that fashion.
Yeah, I completely agree with all those points. I also like to mention that, how many times have you been to an establishment eating out and you find that a guest is, or you yourself have, realize there's something wrong with your order. I maybe meet once a month at times. And yeah, I'll sit down, I'll order, my burger. I want it medium rare and it's overly cooked or whatever the example might be. And I find that the ability to message someone who can resolve your issues is just huge. I think the ability to basically be in touch with someone at any given time is a really great feature, and I think potentially underutilized within the platform. So being able to turn on the ability for guests to message you, which they can respond right to their receipt text if they like, and you can have this feature enabled to be able to message. So it's a really great one. I also find that the ability to kind of switch your whole service model in a pinch is really great. Having people, I'm sure anyone can relate to a Saturday morning, you're getting ready to open your restaurant and you find out that 2 of your runners called out. And now all of a sudden, you're short-staffed and you're going to be slammed and you're not going to be able to run food efficiently from the kitchen. Allowing food to die in the window or whatever other hurdles you'll have to run into. So the ability to turn on automatic text on dispatch where every time you hit order is complete, it sends a text out to your patrons to come pick up their food at the counter instead of the traditional model where you're running it out to them. Like, you can switch your whole service model in a pinch just like that with different features within GoTab. So definitely something to keep under your hat as almost like a crash kit, you know, like emergency, break in case of emergency sort of situation. 86ing and disabling from the KDS. I'm surprised by how many people don't realize this is here, but I think this is another really great feature. If you hit the triple bar at the top left of the kitchen display system and you hit menu, you're going to be able to search for not only any item within your menu, but you can actually click into the manage options and find even sides. So like in this case at the bottom here, you'll notice that I searched slaw, and anywhere where there's a creamy coleslaw attached to a modifier, you're going to be able to 86 the ability for guests to order that, which is something that I've never seen with any other POS I've worked with, as far as I can remember. So I think that's a super cool feature. I also think this is a really great tool for staff to not have to necessarily flag down a manager at any given time to 86 something. I mean, I think I can't tell you how many times we would run out of a beer and have like 5 more orders come in with said beer on it without the ability to 86 it, because we needed to find the manager who was on the other side of the restaurant. So little tools like this can definitely help make your lives a lot easier. Noel, if you want to take it away.
So just the last thing, just what we offer within the KDS display is the multi-item grouping feature. As you see on the slide on the right-hand side, it's basically a toggle. Normally you run your KDS and you don't see that there. You can toggle, like just click on it and it will open up. What this feature is useful for is especially like on the picture on the left, I used to run tickets and hang them up there. And I needed to let my expediter know how many orders I had on up to fire. Like, okay, I need 5 rack of lambs, 3 chicken scarpiellos, or so forth. He needed to know and call out to his chefs to like prepare set orders. So with that multi-item feature there, at least you can expedite the service in the kitchen, and you know what to fire up all day. So that's another useful feature that I recommend to all operators to use in a busy environment. That way you don't have to scroll through the whole KDS to locate what dishes to prepare. And just to wrap it up, that is all that we have, and we're gonna open it up to some questions.
Yep, thank you, Noel, and thank you, Mateen. That was awesome. Again, all of you guys are on mute. If you have any questions and want to ask them, either feel free to use the chat or raise your hand. We'd be happy to unmute you. Just so you're aware, as you're coming up with some questions here, we're going to be doing these for the next few weeks, just quick 15-minute feature highlights of things you can do as you're seeing this increase in volume. There's a ton that people are doing, and we're also going to be bringing on some of our larger operators, Caboose Brewing here in Virginia. We have some people from Guinness coming on. So please feel free to join these. I do see that Jay has a question. Jay, I'm going to unmute you here. And Jay, you are still on mute, but once you're unmuted, feel free to just go ahead and
there we go. Sorry.
Yep. No worries.
Yeah, as you guys know, we run GoTab through micros, and our KDS displays are all micros. Is there any way to run the batch ordering on our micro screen, or do we have to have a tablet with the GoTab KDS on the kitchen window?
Yeah, that's actually a fantastic question. So with micros, we're kind of bound by the third-party integrator, Omnivore, and that just passes the order directly through the point of sale system. So we can help essentially withhold orders within our KDS and prevent them from printing immediately until you dispatch a group. But really, if you just pass them directly through to micros, micros will end up dictating the printing. And I'd actually be happy to chat with you. Yep. I'd be happy to chat with you or in your account manager on maybe some solutions with that particular scenario. We do see that with some of our other partners. So we have some suggestions that we could help with workarounds.
Yeah, the batch ordering would certainly help too, but it would really help with our beer orders because we get a lot of people that order, we'll get 4 orders at one table. And if we can get all of those on a batch order, that would just be terrific. So I would like to figure out a good way to do that.
Yep, certainly. Yeah, we'll get something in the books.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great question.
Thanks, Jay.
Any other questions? Again, feel free to use the chat as well. If you don't want to use the unmute function. And again, as we bring on some of our other operators who can kind of talk about their own experience as we navigate these murky new waters in this industry, a lot of people are doing a lot of different creative solutions. I know every operation can be a little different in terms of how you're managing, post-COVID, light at the end of the tunnel, but that's why we're here. We're here to help. So please continue to ask the good questions you are. Okay, last call for questions. Looks like we do have a question coming in. David is asking, some of our guests struggle with and/or are resistant to using the app. I know this is unrelated to the KDS, but do you have any suggestions for ease of use? This is specifically for older guests. And yes, we see this quite often. Mateen or Noel, do you want to answer this?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, that's not totally uncommon. And my recommendation is definitely sit in on the next webinar where we're going to cover this in more detail. But our POS is something that you can download for free, and it can be used on pretty much any tablet or device. And a really great way to get them to not have to deal with a QR code, which can be kind of intimidating to someone who hasn't used one before, is to be able to just text them their tab. So I understand if there's a adverse reaction to technology in general or ordering from the phone. The POS has 2 different ways to mitigate that. One would be the ability to text the tab to someone, allow them to just open it from their text messaging, and then be right into their ordering flow once their account is set up, and they can just place an order that way. Conversely, you can also just have the POS enabled on any device. Even a server can have it on their phone if you'd like to set them up with that, and they can place an order for the guest that way. And you kind of revert back to a traditional service model, but again, it's the ability to have this on any non-proprietary device is huge. Does that answer your question? Hopefully.
Yeah, and David, that was a fantastic question. Yeah, typically, I mean, point of sale can be a loaded term. It's just a point of sale application. You can just download it again on any device you have, and it just allows you or your servers to start orders on behalf of your guests, and then just seamlessly text them to it at the end of their order. So Mateen definitely nailed it on the head there. And again, having used so many point of sales in the past, we do value any suggestions you have or things you might want to see in a sort of point of sale app like that. But thank you for your question, David. That was awesome. Other questions? Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, this was recorded. We'll be posting this recording after the fact. And then, yeah, join us next week. We're going to just be doing these for the next few weeks, and we'll bring in some of our other partners and operators to kind of talk about their own experiences with this in the future webinars. So thank you so much. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to support or your account manager.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you all.